Hey, I've got some cool stuff to show you today. And it's cool stuff I should have showed you a long time ago, to be honest. So I'm going to show you some dies from last year's Dyers Cup that I did. If you're not sure what the Dyers Cup is, a Dyers Cup is a competition for people that dye lacrosse sticks. I think this is like this, certainly the fifth, I think it's the sixth Dyers Cup. I've been in every year's competition, so I've always made the cuts to actually be in the competition. They usually go from kind of 16 dyers to 8 dyers to 4 dyers to 2 dyers. This year, just the top 8 have been selected to go forward. So we get 3 heads to dye, and ECD are actually sponsoring this year's competition. So I think the first round we have to dye a Rebel Offense, I want to say, is the first round. I think round 2 is the Infinity Women's Head, and round 3 we get to dye the Mirage 2, which incidentally has been one of our best-selling heads recently. So if you're looking for an offensive head, go and check out the Mirage 2. I'll be doing a review serial on that head, but that's a great head. So last year, Epoch sponsored the competition, and we got the Z1 to dye and the Epoch Purpose, which are great heads. There's loads of nice flat surfaces to use for dyeing on those. The Z1 can be a little bit tricky because the scoop could throw you off. It has got a very, very fine texture to it, so if you don't heat those decals, it doesn't work so well. But I'm going to show you the dyes I did for the competition last year. Like I said, I made it to till the last 4, just couldn't squeeze into that final. So I got to do 3 dyes last year for the competition. So round 1, I've only just received these back actually. They've been sitting in the States. Epic wanted them to do some publicity stuff, which I'm not sure they ever got round to actually doing. So I finally got the heads, okay, and I'm going to show you the first one I did. So round 1, I think the theme was advertising, if I remember rightly. So I chose to the Bubba Gump Shrimp Co. It's actually somewhere I've never gone to eat a meal. I think we have a Bubba Gump Shrimp Company restaurant in London. Whether it's still there, I have no idea. But it's got some quotes from the... let's change the angle of that. The sun is glaring through the window. Some quotes from the film Forrest Gump there. So... fruit of the sea. So if you're not sure, no, he didn't say that. Well, his friend Bubba did. That shrimp was the fruit of the sea. So we've got the logo there for the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company. And there's a few quotes from the film here I did onto the head. So I think I hit this with, I think there was like 4 colours. This is 3 different shades of blue. And there was kind of like a grey colour I used as well, which is really going to be really, really hard to pick up on the camera. But you can see here there's some Run Forest Run. You're a goddamn genius, Gump. And here we go at the bottom there. Stupid is as stupid does. And then all over the rest of the head, there's a scene when Bubba is talking to Forrest, and Bubba is telling him all about all the different ways you can cook shrimp. So we've got here dyed on the head is shrimp salsa, shrimp sandwich, stir-fried shrimp. We've got barbecue it, bake it, lemon shrimp, coconut shrimp, shrimp creole, shrimp burger, shrimp stew, pan-fried, broil it. There is multiple ways you can eat shrimp. And you can see the little shrimp logo. Those are kind of like dyed in as well and ghosted around the head. So fairly complex dye, this one. And it was fun to do. It was fun to do. I am going to be doing some dye tutorials soon. It's just that sometimes when you're doing a dye, it takes a lot of concentration when you're doing it. So maybe sometimes filming isn't the best. I must admit, sometimes there's a lot of swearing goes on when I'm in the dye lab. whether that's just cutting decals to the correct size or working on the artwork or the actual dyeing. And then you're peeling off the dye to realise you've had some bleed. But saying that, this one was pretty damn clean and got me through that first round of the competition. So so there we had the purpose. I do find it hard sometimes to let go of the dyes I've dyed for the Dyers Cup, but this is going up on the website. I kind of strang it last week and then thought, oh, should I postpone putting it up on the website? And I thought, no, I'm going to put it up on the website. So I finally accepted the fact I'm going to let go with this head. I did debate giving it to my daughter, but she's not even 4 and has like 5 lacrosse sticks already. So yeah, so this one, this is going to be going on the website, and it's got the Mesh Dynasty Ignite mesh in it, which works really, really well in the Epoch sticks. Got a really nice pocket on that. So some lucky person is going to get to own this. It's got the limited edition Epoch, it's the S32 Dragonfly handle on it. So let's get rid of this one. I'm going to move on to the next one quickly. So round 2 last year, the theme for the dye. So the theme for round 2 was to do a dye with only one colour. That was it, one colour. So there were some clever dyes by some of the other dyers, and each round you kind of scored on various things, whether it's your use of colour or the design element or how clean the dye is, whether you kind of stuck to the theme of the dye. So I must admit, as soon as one colour, I knew exactly what I was dyeing. So a few years ago, I'd done an N.W.A dye on a stick, and I might try and dig it out and show you to another time. But I wanted to do another N.W.A dye, and I knew that I couldn't use the same graphic, so it did require quite a bit of redrawing this graphic. But here is my N.W.A dye. Now, there was a lot of work in doing this. So obviously I could only use black, but you can see there I've got that black to come out with multiple shades. It's just using one colour, which was allowed in the competition. And I figured, you know, I'd put on straight out of Compton. And we've got the bandana design around the head as well. Been watching our Instagram, you might have noticed, or our YouTube channel, I did do some other bandana dyes recently where the design was slightly bigger. This was quite small. This was tricky. I want to squeeze as much in as possible. And I wanted to squeeze in some other kind of references to Los Angeles. So we've got the LA logo here. We've got the Dodgers, Los Angeles Dodgers logo. Wanted to pick up on some of the caps the group used to wear. So we've got the Compton text there from Easy's hat and the design. We've got the LA Raiders logo. We've got, what else we got in here? More Raiders, more LAs, more Comptons in there. N.W.A, the font that they used for their band logo. And just a ton, an absolute ton of little bandana designs. Now, in my original, I had quite an offensive song dyed into the head, and I knew that I couldn't do anything too offensive for the Dyers Cup. So one of the rules for the Dyers Cup is you can't do anything that's so offensive, or parents find offensive for their kids and stuff. And I thought, well, I'm pretty sure there's only one song that N.W.A did, which was kind of like swearing or cussing, as you call it in the States, free. And that was the song Express Yourself. So I've actually got the lyrics, or some of the lyrics, to Express Yourself dyed in that top rail there. And that features around the top of the head. And then we've obviously got the Straight Outta Compton. And then it kind of continues around here too. So I hope you can see that on the video. This is one of my favourite dies, I've got to say. And as I was going to say, as a teenager and a young man, I was a big hip hop fan. But I'm still a big hip hop fan. And I've got to say, you know, the old kind of, the old hip hop's the best. You cannot, the old hip hop, the old rap, you can't beat it. You know, some of the stuff that's out now is just kind of noise, just jibber jabber. There's some awesome lyrics and some great songs, and you know, was quite aggressive, but you know, that's kind of, you know, that's how we felt at the time. You know, it's kind of, but do love this die. I absolutely love this die. And I think I'm going to be keeping this one for myself, and it'll be a new game. And I've strung it up with the Hero 3 mesh and Hero strings. So I've got to get it out on a goal yet, but so far it is throwing awesome. This is on the money. So never really thought I'd use the Z1, but having dyed this and strung it up, you know, this is a stick which I'm going to very much enjoy using. Like I said, the dye, it means something to me, and I've got a couple of dyed sticks. I'm currently using a Rebel Offense, which somebody else actually dyed for me. It's got a Calvin Hobbes theme on it. It's awesome. And round 3, anyway, I'm digressing. Round 3 of last year's Dyers Cup. So round 3 was, what was it now? It was 90s cartoons. So 90s cartoons, there's some great cartoons out in the 90s. I wouldn't say I was watching too many cartoons towards the kind of mid to late 90s. I was out doing other stuff. But there were some great cartoons out, and had to kind of think, you know, what the theme was going to be. So I went with Rugrats. And I wanted to squeeze as many characters on the scoop of this as possible. Excuse the kind of light coming through the window here, it's bouncing off the head, but hopefully you can see some of those characters. And I want to squeeze as many characters on the back side of the scoop as well. So let me just see if I can angle this so you can see it a little bit better. So hopefully you guys can see it on your screens. Oh, we've got Reptile there. Here we go, there's Reptile. And I lost count of the amount of colours I used on this die. This was probably one of the most complex dies I've ever done, purely because I used so many colours. I kind of let myself down a little bit because I did so much work on the scoop that I kind of didn't know what I was going to do the rest of the head. So I kind of kept it a little bit simple. Again, sorry, the reflection here today is pretty crazy. The Rugrats logo inside the scoop there. Went for kind of like this splatter design. I didn't want to fade it, went for kind of a splatter to fade in, and went for the Nickelodeon logo, because of course that was the channel that Rugrats used to be on. So it was a lot of hard work this had. I can't tell you the amount of hours that went into producing a scoop like that. And it was funny actually, because we did a head-to-head that round in the dye competition. One of the other dyers that I was head-to-head with pretty much did the same theme head. I think he had, it might be Nickelodeon, it was his theme, but he had, wasn't just Rugrats, remember rightly, there were some other characters in there as well from other films. Not films, from cartoons. But yeah, his dye was a little bit better than mine, and yeah, he deserved to go through. And you know, it was a tough a tough one to swallow, a tough loss to swallow, because I just felt like there was so much work in this. But, you know, a lot of detail, some really fine stuff in. If you've never dyed a stick before, you know, give it a go. It's so much fun. You know, I've been playing for, I've been playing 31 years now. 31, 32? 31 years, I think. You get old and you lose track. Your memory's not quite what it was. You know, I can't remember the first time I dyed a head. I might have been like 17, 18 and dyed an old head. Now, at the time, you couldn't get, you know, Rit dye in the UK. We used to use, oh God, was it Dylon? I think it was Dylon we used to use. And only a couple of colours of Dylon actually worked properly. And then, you know, I managed to get some Rit dye, you know, over the years, and you get better. But, you know, the stuff that Laxdip are producing now and selling is awesome. You get so many colours, you know, you can... Oh, it's just awesome. You know, the dyes you can produce now are just so detailed. Highly advise if you get, you know, if you're serious about getting into dyes, you really need to get a vinyl cutter. So I use a Silhouette Cameo as my vinyl cutter, and it's superb. You know, this thing can cut out some really, really fine detail. You've got to play around with the settings. It takes a while to learn how to use the Cameo software, but it's, you know, it's a lot of fun. I wouldn't say I dye an awful lot of sticks. Dyeing's not, you know, the market for lacrosse equipment is relatively small outside of North America. So obviously there's fewer people who want dyed sticks. You know, they are expensive. I would say that our dyes are very, very reasonable in comparison with what you'd pay in the States. So if you are watching this, you're in the States, you're in Canada, hey, if you're in Australia or Japan, check the website out. You know, we've got some awesome, awesome dyes. And they're not a lot of money at all. You know, when I get a bit of time, when I feel a bit of inspiration, I'll kick out a few dyes. You know, they're up on the website. We've got a few very talented dyes that have contributed dyes for us over the years. Check them out. There's some awesome, awesome stuff on that. So, hope you enjoyed looking at the dyes from the Dyers Cup. And you may have noticed during this video, actually, I've been wearing this kind of shooting string on my wrist. I've just posted on our Instagram explaining why, but this is in support of the Every Child Matters movement that's going on right now. If you're not aware of what that is, you know, please do a little bit of research and understand about the Canadian residential schools up in Canada and all the atrocities that have been associated with that, finding all the children's bodies and just awful stuff. But this is the very least I can do, and I think you guys can do as well, to show support to those Indigenous people that have just suffered horrendous time. You know, just awful. Please educate yourself and go and check it out, and check out the recent post on our Instagram as well about it. And there's a newspaper article I link in our bio there, which I think anybody in the UK should certainly take a read of. You know, we played our part here in Britain to set these schools up, and I just think it's awful. Anyway, I've kind of put a little bit of a downer on what was a fun video, but, you know, I think it's really, really important that you guys check it out. So, hope you've enjoyed watching this video, and, you know, please make sure you're liking and subscribing this stuff. You know, let your teammates know, let your grandma know, let your dog know, let everybody know about this channel. You know, hit those likes, give some thumbs up, you know, comment down below, let us know what you like, what you want to see next in the videos, and I hope you guys stay safe. Take care.